Okay, so I ran out of time. So we're just going to continue on with this other one. So for characterization, I asked you to pause, but now you can look at it. So we have they have really round characters. Rarely are they flat. I use some secondary characters are, but the primary characters, because it's all about the individual, you're going to see multiple layers of character. You're going to see dynamic characters, shifting left and right, questioning, in the sort of Nietzsche way of looking at perspective. You'll see some archetypal characters. You'll see artist as savior, sane and intelligent people, detached people as well, objective, distanced point of view in some cases. So, but also some, other subjective view. Think back to Nick Carraway. He tried to be objective, but I think that Fitzgerald is an incredible writer because he was able to not only make it a little bit objective, but also have it through the subjective viewpoint of Carraway. It's individualistic. The I is often removed. It's kind of fragmented, and the juxtaposition of characters. Now, not all pieces have all of these characteristics. Some focus on the detached, some focus on the fragmented in that way, but then others will focus on like the artist as savior, intelligent, sort of archetypal piece. So these aren't absolutes, but this is just some things that you might see as you go. So let's do this. Stylistically, some of these are going to look very familiar to you. Again, wide use of classical allusions. With Camus, for example, we'll talk about Sisyphus, and he uses Sisyphus as a metaphor for his sort of Sisyphean hero. Personification, hyperbole, pun, satire, irony, unconventional use of metaphor, which I love. So when we assume in how to read literature like Professor, we sort of make assumptions about things, but they may unconventionally use them and make you think something new, just as with Cubism. They moved beyond what was expected. They moved beyond conceit and moved into something that might be a little bit surprising. Symbolic representations, there's psychoanalytical stuff in there from Freud. Discontinuous narratives, so think back to the sort of cinematic, jumping around, layered pieces. Primitive, colloquial language rather than formal language, which is really fantastic. I mean, this goes back to Chaucer. We love it. Intricately patterned, multiple points of view, materialized id, which is that thing that drives us, the anger, the hunger, the sex, the stuff that's at the heart of our existence. It's imagistic and symbolic. The major players, you'll see some Americans that you might find familiar. Ezra Pound, F. Scott Fitzgerald. We have Ernest Hemingway, Gertrude Stein, William Faulkner. Then you have some British players, and you'll see T.S. Eliot. T.S. Eliot kind of bridged both, so I put him on the British list, though, because he considered himself more of a little Brit. D.H. Lawrence, James Joyce, Virginia Woolf, W.B. Yeats, and T.S. Eliot. There are more. This is just a little smattering. And that's about it. So, take some notes, think about where things might intersect, and where we might see some of these modernist tendencies. It's a lot to take in, digest, so if you need to rewatch it at some point, you can do that too, but hopefully you took notes, because we're going to be talking a lot and using this at the foundation. Thanks. Heart you.